because I had this chest thing, I had to take antibiotics. Now my ex-wife Margaret will tell you that it's more important not to drink when you're taking antibiotics than it is to not take your your normal medication. But the doctor said that the antibiotics would be less effective if I took so for the last like 4 or 5 days I've been it's like, if any of you have been on sertraline or amitriptyline or amlodipine, anything that ends with an "ine," you know what I mean? Except sardine, funny enough. Sardine's cool, sweet fish, and you eat that and it doesn't have any effect on you whatsoever, unless you're in Portugal and you choke on one. And they serve them there with their guts. Anyway, if you're wondering why I am talking on this video, it's because I've decided to do this more often because I'm writing everything, and I've got a lot to say, and I haven't really had people to say it to, except in the written word. So everything gets put into a post about a painting and then what's behind it, and then you send it off, and then people see the painting and then they see the words, but they don't see, like, really. I mean, sometimes I put a photograph of myself going, hey, happy days. Well, like here, nipple painting. You can have that one for, I don't know, hang on, Andy Warhol's agent offered me $3,000 for it or something. But I don't sell paintings anymore. Just keep everything that I do, because you can't put a price on them, really. I don't need the dough. Doing okay at the weekends with my gigs and stuff. So healthy bank balance. If I do artwork, it stays in the house unless somebody asks me for something special, like something special. It would have to really be something special for me to do something for someone now, But there's still plenty of artwork. I'm still doing it, so you'll just keep checking out. So tomorrow night I'm going to be putting up this post about Van Morrison. So I had started to write it, and I'm still going to post it written, but I can't do it. It's like The Hobbit. It couldn't be done in just one go. So it's like three different movies, because each section of it describes a moment that Van was himself. Only two of them I wasn't there, but on the third one I was. So we'll build it up to that, because that also involved the first Storm Zone album and stuff like that. But Rolling Stones, tomorrow night, honestly, tune in and read this story, because we as Belfast people know Van the man. We know what he's like. And generally a lot of people know to steer clear of him, give him arm's length, let him do what he does, because he's a volatile little character, and justifiably so, you know what I mean? He's a true superstar. He's written legendary songs, and he's beloved, around the world. And I don't think he drinks wine with Magner cider topping it up. Or maybe he does. You know what I mean? You never know what goes on in the minds of these not rock stars, because Van Morrison isn't a rock star. But anyway, so yeah, I was saying about that the last few days have been a bit difficult because I haven't been able to take my medication. So if I'm coming across a little, I'm not on anything. I mean, I'm literally not on anything, because not even my normal meds, because I can't take them. But I don't bother with any of the marching powder or anything. So it's been quite an anxious few nights. Physically, fine. Everything's okay. I'm trying to grow the wee locks again, and everything for Monsters of Man, because that's going to be good. It's got everything written all over it that has got that phrase "meant to be" on it. I sent Robbie a message earlier on. Now I sent him at 10 o'clock. It's like 4 a.m. now. I think he's still reading it. But he's got used to that now, But and if I don't respond to one of his messages, there's like, But I responded at length, and I was basically, I mean, Robbie and I didn't see eye to eye for like 30 years, maybe a little bit longer, sort of thing. And it was stupid things that were keeping us apart, you know. And he's a brilliant musician, absolutely brilliant. You know, he's written. I mean, he did these pop songs for Andrew Kelly, who is like, you know, pretty unknown outside of the Belfast, you know, club circuit. But the songs are worthy of being having take that, you know, perform them. They're just that brilliant. And he was also obviously the main songwriter on the first Den of Thieves album. But the second Den of Thieves album, it had a little bit of a hitch. We were all young, you know, started 30 odd years ago. So we were kind of young and petulant, and some people wanted things to go one way, some people wanted things to go the other way. And unbeknownst to myself and Robbie, there was a little under the surface going from one to the other. Oh, did you hear he said about you? No, what? No songs? Nah, you gotta. What about my songs? Yeah, he wants to use his own. No, I didn't say that. What? You know, every night. But this was because the guy who was looking after us at the time wanted his commission from the record deal. And the songs that Robbie wrote, and I wrote some melodies, additional melodies, but they're bulk of Robbie's songs, and they're brilliant. They're absolutely amazing. But they weren't recorded properly. They were recorded live in Gary Aiken's Novatech studios, and the sound of them was brilliant for a live demo. And Julian played on them, which I'm going to post them up sometime soon, because he's got to be heard again to be believed, because he's winging it. We'd rehearsed the songs for about 3 months, and he still winged it or wung it. Sorry. But it was a live demo. It wasn't like the big proper production demo that we did for the first album. And I don't even know whether the guy, our agent, actually sent the demo to the record company or not. But he got back to me and said, "Look, they're not wearing it. Okay, they don't want there's you know, there's not going to be a second Den of Thieves album. But can you do something for me?" And I, what do you want? He says, just make it a second Den of Thieves album, but a sort of a retrospect on, you know, on you and your sort of songs from Ashanti and Emerald and stuff. And I was thinking, why would I want to do that? But then he came over. I mean, he actually came across the Belfast, him and Tim the Tongue Bull, and sat me down and said, you got to do this, you know. And I went, okay, I'll put a tape together of all the Emerald and Ashanti stuff, and we'll send it off. But if it doesn't come back with a positive reaction, that's it. Okay, so I mean, we'll do it your way, you know. And you know, he stayed in my house and everything, you know, that, but he's just basically turned up, you know, went, hey, we got to talk about this, you know, from England. And for some reason or other, the record company, maybe he influenced them, or maybe it was the first time that they had actually received a second Den of Thieves set of demos. I'm pretty sure that might actually have been the case. But that was it. So there was going to be Conspiracy, and it was going to be Emerald and Ashanti songs, and a few songs that were wrote, you know, there and then in the studio. Remy Haller on bass, Speedo on guitar, Ian Wilson, David McNeely on guitar, and Davey Bates played drums, and Stevie Prosser couldn't be available that time, so I had to go and pick Colin Overton up from his job in the Belfast city centre to play the keyboards. Or was that for the first Storm Zone album? I can't even remember. I think it might have been Stevie Prosser on the first. No, Stevie Prosser. I don't know. It was yeah, it was. Stevie Prosser played on the Storm Zone album, and Conleth played on the Den of Thieves album. Listen. So it was discovered that the guy just basically wanted his commission, you know. So if Storm Zone or Den of Thieves released a second album, we would get like $3,000, 3,000 quid of an advance to go and then record the album, and he would get a whopping 20% of that, just for, hey, you know,